If you find you've been in a rut with songwriting or just can't seem to break out of the box, this video is for you. Chances are the current method of songwriting you use is the chord loop, which consists of 4 chords generally repeated throughout the song. Now you may change this up for a different part of the song, like perhaps the chorus, but it doesn't change the fact your melody is being shaped by your chord progression. And this isn't a bad method, it's a method that I still use. It's used for modern songwriting. It's great for if you need to write a song in a pinch, but it can also be very limiting. So I want to flip this around and I want to show you how you can shape your chord progression using the melody. For the sake of contrast, I'm going to start off with a basic melody and with just basic vanilla chords. I'm just going to do 3 measures. The first measure will have a C chord, the second measure will have an F, and the third measure will finish on a C chord. So here's our basic melody and progression. This is where the fun begins. It's the middle measure I'm going to play with, the measure with the F chord and the F note. But instead of changing the melody note, the F, to try to make things more interesting, I'm going to change the chord. The F note will be our anchor. As it stands right now, we have the F major with the F note, which is the first of that chord. Okay. Now there's many different ways to do this, but I'm just going to show some of my favorite ways. We could keep the F as the first, but we would change the F major chord to an F minor, which would sound like this. But let's get much more interesting. Let's say the F note is the third of the next chord. If we go by the rules of key of C, that chord would be a D minor, the F is the third of that chord. I want to get a little crazier than that. I want that F to be the major third of the next chord, which means the chord is going to be a D flat major. Now, if I'm losing you here, stay with me for the next segment. I will explain how I'm getting these. I'll go over all that. So let's play this with a D flat as the next chord. And we'll keep going from there. Now let's say I want the F to be the 5th. That would make it a B flat chord. Let's play it with a B flat chord now. Now you're probably thinking, I got no more notes left to play with. That's not true. Because I could say, so we've covered the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th. What if I wanted it to be the 6th? It would be an A flat chord. So A flat 6. Okay, let's try it with an A flat 6. So let's say the F is now the major 7th of the next chord, which that would be F sharp major 7. So let's try the sequence like that and see what happens. Sounded a little jazzy there. I could keep going, but I think you get the point. We could even try a 9th. And there, like I said, there's many possibilities. We could have done like a flat 5th, which would made it like a B diminished for your next one. You could do like the flatted 7th. You could do a flatted 9th. Many different ways to do this. If you were confused in the last segment, I'm going to explain chord structures. I think that's really likely what your confusion is, understanding how to make a chord. Maybe you're somebody who knows the white key chords, right? So C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished. But do you really understand the building blocks of these chords? So let's talk about that. Your C major. Let's think about what makes the C major, okay? So from C to E, from your 1st to your 3rd, 1, 2, 3, 4 keys or semitones or half steps to the 3rd. from the third to the fifth. 1, 2, 3. So 4 semitones and then 3 semitones. It makes up a major chord. I mentioned a B flat. It's going to be the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? 1, 2, 3. Makes our B flat chord. With a minor, it's the reverse. So you may be, I'm going to use the A minor for an example because you may be familiar with the A minor. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it flipped. It's 3, then 4. Diminished is going to be 3 and 3. So I mentioned the B flat. I mentioned the A flat 6. Okay, let's talk about where we get to, how we get to the 6, okay? From the 5th, it's 1, 2. So it's 2 keys from the 5th will get you your 6th interval from the A flat. Of course, it works. If we look at it from the white keys, there's a C6 right there. I also mentioned a major 7. Here's a C major 7. I think the major 7 I did was F sharp, major 7. There we go. We'll look at it from the C major 7 standpoint. Okay, so from the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice it's a major 3rd from the 5th to get your major 7. Then let me tie this into how I did it. Right, I said I wanted this F to be a major 3rd. Now we established that a major 3rd is 4 keys or semitones or half steps. So I can count in reverse. Okay, so if I want this to be a major 3rd, I just count in reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. There's my root right there. And of course, then you can count the other way, 3 this way to get your 5th. There we go. There's my D flat major chord. Hope this helps. Thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for supporting the channel.